Hey, wanted to talk about something today. I did a fair bit of crying earlier today. I think reality's starting to set in for me. The fact, I've been able to stay in my house for most of the time since making this kind of announcement and letting myself start to tick in public. So I've been living in this kind of surreal existence, and haven't been out that much. But I went and visited some people today, and started thinking about the people who have known me as a normal person, looking normal anyway, and how this might or could influence relationships and whatnot. When I started thinking about myself, how I have perceived myself these last 20 plus years, and kind of developed this whole person that wasn't necessarily really me. I think a lot of me has always been out, and displayed in the things that I do and say and present myself and whatnot, but maybe not as much as could have been, because it took so much energy to suppress all of this. And so I started to question, well, who am I really, and how will this influence what I can do? I feel like I finally found a job that I really enjoy and plays to a lot of my strengths. Will I be able to continue with that job like this? Because I do have, just like anybody or anything, I have bad days and good days, and earlier today was kind of rough, and after letting this kind of animal out, it's hard to cage it sometimes, and there's a lot that goes into being a counselor, and especially in a public school. So I started to question that a little bit, and wondering what that would be like, and questioning who I am. But I know that there are a lot of people out there who have it worse, than I do. And I started to think about, instead of all of the amazing blessings that have come from this. For example, my health. I can't express how much better I feel since making this change. And in some ways I feel like it was a choice. In other ways I feel like it was inevitable, because you can't keep all of that built up forever without consequences, obviously, as I've experienced throughout my life, but also all of that building up. So my health is one that I haven't talked about very much, is how this has healed many of my relationships. A mental part of the symptoms of Tourette syndrome for me, there's obsessions and compulsions, and I'm kind of an idea guy, and I get a lot of ideas and creative things and whatnot, but I have a hard time sticking with any of those for a really long time. That's why counseling has been so awesome, because it's been amazing for me to experience, and there's always new things that come up, and I'm always engaged in new things in that field. So that's a positive thing too. But I have these obsessions where I will get fixated on an idea or a topic of study or whatnot, and it may last a day, it may last a week, maybe a month, where it kind of consumes me, and if you can imagine my poor wife, I got this new idea, honey, for this business or this or that or whatever, and she's been amazingly patient through the years, but it's also made it hard, because she may get excited about an idea, and then a week later I'm onto a new idea, and she says, "Well, what happened to the old idea?" And I say, "I don't know," because it just stops and is replaced with something else. And a lot of times, a lot of the studying and a lot of the creativity and whatnot that came with that idea that I developed over the period of obsession kind of fades away with the idea, and it's hard to reconnect with that information. And some of it sticks, but some of it doesn't. So that's always been frustrating. I've always wanted to do something to help a lot of people, and I've never been able to stick with anything long enough to really do and to see that dream through to fruition. So I don't know what that'll look like in the future, but knowing that is part of this, that part of me is part of Tourette syndrome, or these symptoms, has helped to heal a lot of different parts of my relationship with my wife, and even, family members and people who have had just been confused about me and some of the decisions that I make and have made, and it's helped me to come to a place where I can be at peace with who I am, and to know that I'm not a bad guy, that I'm not because I've never done any of this on purpose. I've never purposely wanted to hurt anybody, but sometimes that has happened, and I kind of beat myself up and just think, well, why can't I do something different than what I've been doing? And finally having these pieces starting to come together has been really helpful. So it's, there's new challenges. I'm starting to come into a reality with this, and realizing, every day when I wake up, I'm kind of going to be this way, so there's going to be consequences, but there's so much good that's come from it as well. I just wanted to share that. Today's been kind of a rougher day, but at the same time, it's helping me to be more aware of the good stuff as well, and remembering that is helpful for me. So I just wanted to share that. That's basically it. I do have a question, I guess, if anybody wants to share. I'm kind of an in-betweener on this, because I've had Tourette's, or these symptoms, throughout my life since I was about 9 or 10 years old, but have covered them up. But I was talking with my brother, one of my brothers, about this idea of what might be harder, what might make the difference. Is it harder for somebody to have a normal life and then come to a challenge, to become disabled with something, or develop something like this? It's almost like that for me, because it's finally being externalized. Or is it harder to grow up with that external type of disorder that may affect people's judgments of you, or your ability to do things? What might be harder, and what might be the things that help a person through that, and that make the difference between people who find it debilitating, and people who can go on and still accomplish so much in their life, and be positive. I feel like mentality is important, what our perspective is like, and I feel like that's important, but I also feel like the people that we're around also make a huge difference. So again, I'm grateful for everybody's help and support and, and well wishes and things like that. And I'm grateful that I can start making these videos because it's really helpful for me to do. And it's basically it, What might be worse, growing up for your whole life with something like this, or having it start later, and what might help a person to overcome some of those challenges in life. So, ideas. I'd love to hear what you think. So, anyway, thank you, and talk to you later. See ya.